Well, today what we're going to do is we're going to put an end cap on the end of a countertop. So you're going to see how this is done, and so just watch the film and watch how this is all done. The first thing you want to do, you have your build-up material. So you set your build-up material down. You set one right next to the edge of it. You get over here so you can see this. And you put your marks. And then what we're going to do, we're going to cut these to make them fit. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to shoot this with our spray glue. Shoot all your pieces. And in the next slide, what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and we're going to lay these down, but we're going to let our glue set for just a little bit. It's usually about 3, 4, 5, 10 minutes. So we will be back with you in just a moment. So now we're ready to put our end pieces on. These are, you just sit them in place. You need to feel them to see if your edge is nice and straight. It's real critical that your edge be straight. Because if the edge is not straight, when you get into your router part of it, then your router can get into your material fairly easy. So you don't want to get into your material when you're routing. And that's the next thing we're going to show you in just a moment. So just bear with us. So then in the next step, what we want to do, we want to make sure we spray our glue on the end of our end cap. Cover it fairly well. And I do it upside down, that way I don't spray my countertop. Spray your material with the glue. And you let it sit for about 5 minutes or so. Well, now what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and put this end cap on the second piece here, so you can see how this is done again. You just set it in there. Remember, you glued it. Now you're setting it in place. That's what we're going to do on the video, is we're going to route this and show you how routing is done. So bear with me. So when you're routing the edge of a countertop, you want to make sure that you apply as much pressure to the side going in. That way you get a nice straight cut as you're coming along the material. Let me show you for example. And always rotate the brush. Another good thing to know is when you're setting your router, you want to set as close to the ball bearing as you can and be able to get your material in there too at the same time. Not going too far out, because the further you go, you end up getting into your material, and you don't want to get into your laminate and scar it up. So we're going to see that on the next one. We're going to turn this top over, and we're going to route the top part of it. Now this is getting into the phases, the second part of the job. Remember we talked about setting your router. You want to set it close to your material. So next what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and make this cut. Very nice, very nice. Go ahead and do that again. So that's how you make the cuts, but we're not finished yet. Next we have to file the edge a little bit to make it nice and clean for the customer so they don't, their fingers, they can't pull the end caps off. So that's what we'll do in our next part of this. Now in this phase of the game, what we want to do, we're going to bevel the edges. You see, just do it lightly. I use an 80 grit sandpaper to do this. Made myself a little sanding block. It's kind of interesting. You've got round ends on the end so you can get into these little areas. Just cleans up that edge really pretty. That way you don't cut yourself. All the sharp edges you want to take off. And then what you do is you take a little flat file, and without not getting into your material, just file it lightly and go around all your edges. It's just a little bit of filing. Don't always kind of keep it a little bit on a bevel so that way you're not cutting into your material or scratching your countertop. Very nice. So anyway, that's a finished product. Clean it up. It's ready to go to the customer. So next time we will talk to you on our next video.